Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcoming you all for the second Asia Windows 365 user group event, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Jitesh. I am Windows 365 Microsoft MVP based out of from India. So we are here at the Route 65 Community User Group virtual meetup to be arranging a lots of innovative things and lot more activities we are at planning to do and cover up in the upcoming session. So stay tuned with the community and you will find out lot of more exciting things coming up. So let's move forward for our agenda for the session today. So here you can see we have two sessions coming up for the today. So basically, firstly, Ravi will be briefing about all the latest news and coverage and the development from the Windows 65 field, and followed by the session, Ravi will going to deliver and talk about the Windows 65 security and compliances and on the second session, I will be joining Anoop. So we will be walk you through about the Windows 365 reporting and all about what are the Microsoft coming up with the reporting structure. So let's move ahead. So here is all about what we do as a community and how we are working. So we bringing the latest news about the Windows 65 community for you live, and we are arranging the sessions. Uh, so basically, we are a form of group containing Microsoft MVPs, product group manager, and of course anyone else who has something to share. Uh, if someone is not speaking, can you? Yeah, thank you. So anyone can. Oh, sorry, where I was over. Yeah. So whoever wants to share anything, they can just join us and contribute with their knowledge. So we basically publishing the weekly newsletter, and we also have the knowledge share dashboard where we are keep publishing all the related stuffs uh, related to the Windows 65 community. So you can join the meetup group as well, which are the listed below. We have three different user group. One is for the USA and the another is for the Asia and the EMEA. So you can join any of the group and be part of this community. So this is all about the person and the core member behind this community. So we are having a, group of all the person and these member are like a core member team who is regularly keep updating you all with your sharing knowledge and writing although deep dive articles related to the cloud PC. So you will get to know more about the related stuffs in the w65community.com. So here you can join us W65 community or Windows 365 community on the Twitter handle. We also have the YouTube channel where you can get all the latest update and the user meetup session and everything. So don't forget to join us. And if you have something and you want to share with us, you can definitely become a part of this community and help to spread the good news all around the world. So next, I am handing over the session to Ravi, who will provide you all the detail based on the latest coverage. Ravi, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me start sharing. Give me a second. Let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Yep, it is.
All right. Fantastic. So, hello everyone. I'm Ravi. I'm a senior product manager, part of the Windows 365 customer experience engineering team. I'm based in Singapore and I work with key strategic customers across Asia time zone, all the way from New Zealand to India and from Korea to China. So today I have two topics that I will be covering. First of all, before I proceed, is my audio clear enough?
Yeah, is it good? You can
Okay,
proceed.
perfect. So I have two topics to cover today. The first one is the Windows 365 public roadmap. So this is the roadmap that you will find under the Microsoft 365 roadmap portal, and this is a collection of all the publicly available roadmap items. And I will spend a few minutes in this roadmap to explain to you what are the key investments that we as an engineering team for Windows 365 are making, and what exciting features that you can expect in the next 3 quarters. So, starting with this particular quarter, which is almost over with October to December 2022, we are going to make Azure AD Join single sign-on available. So you might know that Azure AD Join was available since May. We are enabling single sign-on capability from second week of December in preview. So if you have, or if you are part of a customer environment where you are managing Azure AD Join based cloud PCs, I would highly recommend you to read the preview announcement and sign up for it. So this uh, capability will enable single sign-on functionality for users using either RD client or the Windows 365 app that is in preview. Talking about Windows 365, the next feature is focused more towards security as well, which is bring your own key disk encryption. So as of now, when it comes to Windows 365, if you go to our documentation under the security and privacy section, you will see that Windows 365 VHD, the disks that are attached to the virtual machines, are stored in a storage account, which are encrypted using storage storage side encryption. So I'll talk a little bit about in the later part of the security, but this capability is currently secured using Microsoft Managed Key, which means Microsoft brings the security key and it manages the encryption on behalf of the customers. With this new capability, customers will be able to provide their own key, which they are using for the larger M365 ecosystem. So if you have bring your own key enabled for Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, etc., you will be able to use that same key for Windows 365 encryption as well. The third one, again, this is a topic that I will be covering in later in the slides, is the Windows 365 review or legal hold capability. This feature will become generally available within this month. Essentially, this feature will allow you to um, place a cloud PC under review, and I will cover some of the details in the later slides. So I'll be skipping the details of it right now. The fourth one is about disaster recovery. Essentially, as of now, we are able to allow automatic disaster recovery of cloud PCs from one Azure region to another region. So wherever you see Windows 365 available in the regions, in all those regions, we have Azure availability zone, three availability zones enabled, which means that if, let's say, one of the zones or the underlying data center goes down, then you can basically use the restore functionality of the cloud PC and restore it into a alternative availability zone, which means that you are now able to perform disaster recovery of cloud PCs within the Azure region. So that capability is available as of now. for you to test. Although, as an end user, you may not know the difference of what is going on. Let's assume that in central India, you have a cloud PC, it goes down, and it indicates that there is an outage that is causing the cloud PC to go down. You can right click on this cloud PC, or you can use Graph API call to initiate a restore of one cloud PC or a bulk of cloud PCs, and you can restore them to a alternate. The service will automatically restore it to a alternative up and running Azure availability zone. The last feature for this quarter is the Azure Lighthouse support. So as you might be aware, Windows 365 comes in two flavors. One is the enterprise flavor that most of the customers use. And the other one is the Windows 365 business flavor that does not need you to have Intune capability, and it provides a management portal to provision and scale up to 300 cloud PCs per customer tenant. So, if you are not aware of the differences between the two, I would highly encourage you to go through the differences and identify what they are. But this capability, the Azure Lighthouse capability, allows a partner or a managed service provider, like an outsourcing service provider or a system integration service provider, to manage multiple tenants at the same time using this Azure Lighthouse capability. And Windows 365 Business is now supported as part of that. Windows 365 Enterprise, on the other hand, has been in support for the last around 6 months now. For the Q1 period of the next calendar year, 2023, we have two major announcements that are lined up for general availability. One is the Windows 365 system-based alerting. Uh, in simple terms, what this means is that this capability currently is part of the email alerting capability. So you have pre-configured rules that can be set up as an administrator from the MEM portal to send email-based alerts to Windows 365 admin groups. And these alerts and alert rules are right now in preview. They will become generally available in Q1. So you can go through, and as of now, there are three uh, pre-created rules that you can configure for alerting. There are more and more rules that are planned for later in the year. So that capability is going to be generally available. And then we have the advanced deployment guide that is coming in Q1 of the calendar year. For Q2 of the 2023 calendar year, starting April, ending in June, we have a task that is coming up for um, consolidating the Azure Enterprise apps. So, if you are a developer or if you are familiar with the background of how Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop works, we need to register these two services, Azure Virtual Desktop and Windows 365, as an enterprise application in Azure service. So only after registering it will we be able to take advantage of the Azure AD accounts and all the other services that come with Azure AD. So as of now, Azure Virtual Desktop is a separate app. Um, Windows 365 is a separate enterprise app. So this capability will consolidate them into a single app, and basically the customers who are configuring conditional access policy will be able to take advantage of that single app to configure conditional access policy, and it basically makes their job easier. The next is Azure AD Join Single Sign-On, which is currently going into preview this month, will become generally available in the second quarter of 2023. At the same time, we will have hybrid Azure AD Join Single Sign-On that will go into preview during the April 2023 month. So if you are a customer that is looking for single sign-on capability with hybrid Azure AD join cloud PCs and the local devices, then this is the feature for you. So it basically gives you that single sign-on capability, and this feature is going into preview, public preview in April 2023. Um, I think I repeated the line items. Sorry about that. And then finally, the bring your own key for disk encryption, which is going to be in preview, will become generally available in the second quarter of 2023. So these are the top public roadmap items that we are expecting over the next 7 odd months. So without any further delay, let me move on to my next topic. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat window. I will address them at a later date. Or, in fact, Jitesh, if you could read any questions that you have before I start the next section.
Yeah, Ravi. I think for now we don't have any, but if in case if anyone wants to ask anything, they can just unmute themselves and ask.
Perfect. I will give pauses between different sections and I will call out. So,
Yeah.
like Jitesh mentioned, you can either post it in the chat as questions or you can unmute yourself and ask when I do pause between different sections of the presentation. So, the next topic for today is the core topic for today's session, which is Windows 365 security and compliance. Out of those two, the first is Windows 365 security. So Windows 365 at its core is built around the zero trust security model. So the next few slides, I will be explaining how it is achieved and how the service itself aligns towards those principles. All right. So in a nutshell, a zero trust security model is essentially a collection of adaptive controls. So what that means is that every time a user wants to uh, access a resource, the user and the device's identity is verified, the integrity is verified, and the security is verified with adaptive controls. So if a user logs in from Office, they may or may not get single sign-on prompt. Whereas when they are logging in from their home or from cafe, they might be prompted as with multi-factor authentication, and essentially that is based on the risk calculation that is done, and automatically the adaptive controls are implemented. All right. So the diagram that you see here is a six-stage or six-component pipeline that goes from end users endpoint management all the way to data. So endpoint management here is simply the end user's device and the app, the remote desktop client app or the Windows 365 app through which they are connecting, the identity of the user itself, and what are the controls that are available, apps, essentially the Windows 365 as a service, as well as the M365 apps that they run, the network to which the cloud PC is connected, whether it is a Microsoft hosted network or a Azure VNet that the customers bring in, that network and its security. Last before is the infrastructure on which the cloud PCs themselves run on. So what are the security controls that are available? And finally, the data that is generated and stored within the cloud PC as well as within the online services such as Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, OneDrive, etc. So let's take a little more deep dive on each of these points and see what are the security controls that are available that helps Windows 365 align towards zero trust security model. Okay, so the first in the security model is the endpoint itself. So, endpoint here refers to the physical device. This can be any form factor. It can be a tablet, it can be a mobile device, it can be laptops, MacBooks, Chromebooks. It could be anything. And those devices can either be managed or can be unmanaged. So, when it comes to management, they can be managed using a Intune MDM and Intune MAM. So it can be any of those. But for customers that are looking to provide end-to-end security, managing those devices using MDM and MAM is the right choice so that they can make sure the device that the user connects to their corporate resources, including Cloud PC, are secure and are not vulnerable for malware attacks and other things. And the second part of endpoint story is the Windows 365 clients themselves. This includes the remote desktop client, of course. Next, the Windows 365 app that is in preview, as well as the Windows 365 web app, which is basically a HTML5 client that through which users can connect to the cloud PCs. All of these do provide inbuilt security measures, how the users access the cloud PC, etc. So let's start the journey. Now, a user uses their endpoints managed by Intune, MDM, and MAM, etc., and they are going to connect to their cloud PC. The first step of that process is the combination of the protocol, which is remote desktop protocol, and their identity itself, the users and the device identity. So the user's identity can be, cloud originated, meaning cloud only, or it is directly created in Azure AD, or it can be created in on-premises Active Directory and synchronized to Azure AD via Azure AD Sync. All right. So this it can be any one of those. And once they open the client, Windows 365 or RD client, essentially what happens is that the client makes a remote connection to the service, which is in this case Windows 365 service. And the first thing that they are prompted with is their user account. And this is the Azure AD version of their user account. So they are prompted with the familiar splash screen where they need to enter their email address or their UPN, and they click next. Now, once the Azure AD receives the the username, it checks whether this particular user has been configured for conditional access policy. So conditional access policy is basically a combination of multiple security controls. It can assess whether a user needs to be challenged with two-factor authentication, whether a user needs to be assessed for which network they are connecting from, which client they are connecting from, whether the device that they are connecting from is secure and up to date in patches and in operating system service packs. All of those can be set up in the conditional access policy and it can be evaluated. So, this is the second layer of security as far as the Intune and Azure conditional access is concerned. So based on that, like I mentioned previously, if the risk, for example, the conditional access policy is set up with to evaluate risk of the user based on where they are connecting from and which device they are connecting from, they may or may not be prompted for additional authentication challenges, including multi-factor authentication and a couple of other aspects. So they get challenged with multi-factor authentication. For example, the user enters the password and they you know, authenticate with the multi-factor authentication challenge. The next step is that Azure AD issues a token to this endpoint device, which is received by the Windows 365 client. This client then takes that token and it goes back to the on-prem, it goes back to the Windows 365 service, which sits in front of the cloud PC. And this service essentially is going to check, okay, for Ravi, this is the token. What are the entitlement that Ravi has? Does Ravi have a cloud PC? If so, how many cloud PCs he has? What type of cloud PCs? What is the name, etc. All those are retrieved and it is packaged in the form of a RDP file and sent back to the client. This client then displays that configuration in the client. Now, the next logical step for the user is to click on that icon and launch the session. So that is where the second aspect of the uh, zero trust model comes into the picture, where the connection originates using remote desktop protocol, except it is tunneled within HTTPS. So it's RDP over HTTPS, and the HTTPS connection is via the familiar or well-known 443 port. So what this tunneling method does is, first, the RDP protocol itself is encrypted, and then on top of that, the tunnel, the HTTPS tunnel, is again encrypted. So the connection that is originating from the client is dual encrypted before it reaches the service even. All right. So this is the additional layer of security that I was talking about. And obviously, it does not use port 3389 if you are wondering. Okay. So once the service says that, okay, I see that you are qualified and I receive your connection, what it does is it talks to the backend system, which is the cloud PC, and the cloud PC makes a one-way connection. So a one-way connection from the end user is made to the service here, and the cloud PC is asked to make a one-way connection here. This process of connecting two one-way connections is called as reverse connect in a nutshell. So reverse connect is bridged at the gateway service of Windows 365, and it essentially provides the user with the feeling that they are directly connected to the cloud PC, whereas they are only reaching till the gateway. All right. So how is the cloud PC itself? So this is the third layer of security in the zero trust security model. How is the cloud PC itself is secure? So cloud PC, in a nutshell, is a virtual machine running Windows 10 or Windows 11. By default, all the cloud PCs created are secured with secure boot capability and virtual TPM chips, hardware chips. So these two together make sure that when the cloud PC is booting up and running, there are no malware, there are no virus or bootloaders, etc., that get booted. So it makes sure that the operating system is loading securely and there is no vulnerability that is loaded with it. All right. Now, at the operating system level, it is secure. So how do you secure the apps and various other things? That's where, again, Intune comes in. Intune brings you the compliance policies and configuration policies so that you can define what is the minimum level of operating system version that is supported, what are the minimum version of M365 apps that is supported for users to run, and enforce the patches, enforce the OS hardening configurations, etc. And in combination with the uh, Microsoft 365 app capabilities, such as e-discovery, DLP, and the Microsoft Defender for endpoint capabilities, It provides end-to-end security all the way from the booting hardware to the operating system and the final layer, which is the application. So it is secure end to end, and essentially none of the security is assumed on basis of where the cloud PC is running. So that is how, again, zero trust model works. The next component obviously is about the apps themselves that are running. So we covered some of the capabilities of e-discovery, DLP, etc. Those are built into Microsoft 365 apps. And you can also obviously package and push line of business applications that you have to the cloud PCs themselves. So cloud PCs and the hardware in which it runs, it's secure. But what about the infrastructure, the underlying physical infrastructure in which the cloud PC is running? So that's where the HVCI capability, hypervisor code integrity capability of the Azure platform comes into the picture. Essentially, this capability makes sure that the code that is running is integral. There are no vulnerabilities. There are no malware that gets loaded. There are no zero-day vulnerabilities that get taken advantage of. And then in combination, this is the compute capability. For the storage, we have the server-side encryption, basically the capability that provides underlying storage, Azure storage account, a built-in encryption. So this is the encryption that I was talking about during the roadmap slide. Essentially, this encryption is automatically managed by Microsoft, and the key is stored in the Azure Key Vault managed by Microsoft. But when the BYOK capability becomes available, customers can specify their own key and they can store it in their own key vault service. The next in the trust model, zero trust model, is the virtual network. So cloud PCs connect to two types of networks. They can connect to two types of networks. One is Microsoft hosted network, which means that the cloud PC runs within the network that is built and managed and maintained by Microsoft, or they can be run in the network that the customers bring in, which is called as bring your own network or BYON. And this is nothing but simply a Azure virtual network in which cloud PCs can be connected to. And by that extension, they can bring in a number of capabilities, such as traffic filtering. You can use network security groups in Azure Virtual Network to filter traffic at basic level. And you can add Azure Firewall or any third party partner firewall products to filter traffic even more. And you can bring in services such as Azure Virtual WAN to shape the traffic to make sure that how the traffic gets routed. You can also bring in customer defined routes and essentially, sorry, user defined routes or UDR and attach it to the virtual network and make sure that the traffic from Cloud PC follows a specific path before it reaches either internet or your on-premises network. This capability is also available in Microsoft hosted network, where you can use the operating system level firewall and rules to control how the user traffic reaches internet as well as the on-premises network using, say, a point-to-site VPN. All right. So that is the network uh, dimension of the zero trust model. The last one is the M365 apps themselves, which includes obviously the Exchange, OneDrive, SharePoint, and many more apps that bring their own built-in security capabilities such as DLP labeling, classification, encryption, tracking, and many more capabilities that allow you to securely collaborate, securely create documents, collaborate, share it with other users within the organization and outside of the organization using the apps running within Cloud PC. So this is the zero trust security model. Over the next few slides, I will spend a few minutes to expand on some of these capabilities even more. So before I do that, are there any questions? Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Is that
It's breaking
flow?
very bad. Yes.
Is that clear
Go ahead.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somehow better.
Okay, so you told something about encryption, right? What kind of encryption is used to storing the data on Azure cloud?
So you mean the specification? We use AES 254 encryption algorithm, and we use 1024-bit encryption for encrypting the underlying storage service or the storage account in which the Cloud PC VHDs are stored. So what that means is that the operating system does not need to use capability such as BitLocker to encrypt the data again. The encryption is provided transparently to Cloud PCs. And by the way, Cloud PCs do not support BitLocker. Does that answer your question?
Yes, AES 256 encryption, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then another one is from apps point of view, you told two things, right? One is Microsoft 365 app and another one is line of business apps.
Mhm.
E- Yeah, if I want to deploy any script, is that option is available on Windows 365 Cloud?
Yeah, so Intune is the device management platform for Cloud PC. So all the capabilities that are available within Intune, for example, to package and deploy applications, scripts, enforcing group policies, enforcing more precisely group policies in the form of configuration policies and security baselines, all of those can be done.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. So in the interest of time, I'll keep moving on. Um, so like I said, in the next few slides, I will expand a little more on some of these concepts. The first one being the virtual machine level security capability, which is um, trusted launch. This is a term that is given to the combination of secure boot and virtual TPM capability. These two features are turned on for cloud PCs that are provisioned out of the box. So you don't need to worry about it. And if there are applications that make use of this capability to check code integrity and basically uh, secure their application runtime, then all the more advantage for you. On top of these two, like I mentioned, the underlying infrastructure, the physical servers and the infrastructure themselves use the hypervisor code integrity capability. And on top of that, you can also use Microsoft Defender Credential Guard to essentially secure the end to end from all the way from the hardware to the virtual machine operating system execution and boot process. So the second capability that I want to call out is the virtualization or nested virtualization, to be precise, capability that allows you to run code or applications in container environments, in various other form factor for either testing, code development, or even to run production apps if you would like, if you are, adventurous. But this capability is, as of now, limited to 8 vCPUs queue, and um, this supports Defender Application Guard, and obviously it also supports Windows sandboxing capability. Any questions here? All right. Moving on. So the second dimension to the hardware or the security, the first slide is the hardware portion of it. The second one is the more operating system portion of the or the dimension of securing the cloud PC. So this security is provided via multiple methods. The two most noteworthy uh, methods that are available within Intune are the built-in Windows 365 security baseline policies. So this baseline policy is available in preview, and it is a collection of all the configurations that you can readily use out of the box to deploy to the cloud PC, and you can customize it to suit your need and secure the cloud PC environment further. The second is device compliance, basically enforced using configuration policies and uh, security baselines. Again, you can use or you can enforce disk level security, app level security, and so on. So I covered a little bit about the disk encryption, and here I want to cover two most important aspects of it. I spoke in detail about the encryption at rest, which is the server-side encryption. For encryption in transit, the RDP protocol that is used for communication between clients and the service itself uses TLS 1.2 and essentially uses dual encryption to secure any connections between client and the service itself. Um, Next is we are looking at investing in securing cloud PCs by providing native encryption at host level itself. So what that means is that we are looking at securing runtime, application or runtime memory storage as well. So that's the encryption in processing. So that capability is something that we are looking at on top of additional capabilities such as bring your own key and so on. So those are some of the investments that we are doing in this area for future. Any questions before I move on to the next topic? All right. The next is Cloud PC compliance. So one of the key capabilities that we have in Cloud PC today is the ability to do something called as placing the Cloud PC under review. So what this means is essentially you can let's say the compliance department in your company identifies a user is essentially involved in a lawsuit, or they are mandated by compliance policy to be placed on review, or a snapshot of the cloud PC needs to be taken. So this particular cloud PC using the feature called review can be taken a snapshot, and the user can be provided access to continue using the cloud PC, or they can be blocked. So that's what this capability is. Imagine a situation where a user is under legal review. They basically anything that they work with needs to be blocked, and whatever data that they have needs to be collected and needs to be analyzed by forensics and compliance teams. So as of now in physical PC world, that is done by collecting the physical device manually, whereas with cloud PC, you can do that with a click of a button from the MEM portal. So let me show you how that looks in the real world quickly. It's a quick detour of a demo. So this is one of the cloud PCs in my lab. And essentially, if you look at it, these are the options, different options available. And if I click on this ellipsis, there is an option called Place Cloud PC under review. When I click on it, the first thing that I am asked is to select a subscription that has a storage account. Now, in my lab, I haven't configured a storage account, so I'm unable. So this option is grayed out. But this gives us, this is the only option that you will need to select. You just need to select the storage account in which a snapshot of the cloud PC can be stored. And the second option is, do you want to block the user from accessing the cloud PC, or do you want to continue allowing the user? There might be situations in compliance review or technical or legal review where the user must not know that they are being under review and the data needs to be collected. In such cases, the company can choose either one of the options and they just click on place under review. What it does is it runs a batch job that will show up in here, the device action status. And once it is complete, it will show a status of complete, after which you can go to the storage account and you can copy the VHD and share it with the compliance or legal teams that needs access to it. So it's as simple as that. So moving on, next is in terms of security is the conditional access capability. So we all know that conditional access is a collection of configurations that can be used to perform multitude of capabilities. And I just want to pick one example for which we already have documentation in our Windows 365 documentation site. That scenario is restricting Office 365 services from Cloud PC. So there might be scenarios where uh, users have very small or netbook kind of devices that are not capable of providing the compute resources needed for running Outlook, browser, SharePoint, etc. In those cases, companies, in order to prevent support tickets being raised, might want to block the users from completely accessing the services from the physical device, but only from the cloud PC itself. So in those cases, we will configure these settings. I'll just show you a demo of how it is. And essentially, you can prevent the Office 365 from being accessed from any physical device. Now, there are variations of it. So some companies might want to, on top of allowing users access from Cloud PC, they might also want them to access from their mobile or uh, mobile and tablet, etc. So via the native Office apps, right? So we will see how that can be achieved via conditional access policies. So here I have endpoint security, and under endpoint security, I have gone to the conditional access view. And inside, I have multiple policies. The policy that is of interest for this demo is this one. So I click on this, and essentially, um, the I give a name to the policy, and under this, I need to select a user to whom this policy needs to apply. So I can choose single user or a group of users. In this case, I have chosen a user group, security group to be specific, to which I can automatically add users in the future. Whoever will get a cloud PC will automatically be added to the or manually added to this group so that they can't access Office 365 services from anywhere else but cloud PC. All right. So we are not excluding anyone else. We are just including those users that needs to have this policy applied. And then we go to the cloud apps and action. So under cloud apps and action, we are going to select which cloud app for which we need to apply this policy. So we are going to include Office 365. So this policy will only apply for Office 365 cloud service. And by extension, because Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop Service needs to be accessed from the physical device using a client such as the one that I'm opening right now, like the remote desktop client, it needs to be excluded. So in this case, I have gone ahead and I have excluded Azure Virtual Desktop, the enterprise app, and the Windows 365 enterprise first party app. Both these first party apps are excluded so that it allows the users to launch this or this app, which is this is RD client, and the other one that I'm opening is the Windows 365 app. So the users should be able to access the services from any one of these apps. All right. So I am excluding those two. The next is, what are the conditions that I want to apply? I'm not interested in anything else, but as a customer, you can go in and configure any of them. I'm going to define which device platforms from which to which the policy applies. So I'm selecting any device, and within that, I'm excluding Android and iOS. So this is, remember, if you remember the condition that I told you about, the company wants to allow users to access the Office 365 app from their phone and tablet. So excluding these two operating systems will allow the users from doing that. But technically, you don't need to do that. You can simply say that include this and move on. Okay. So you just need to select the device platforms. And finally, this is the actual rule that will define what are the devices through which it needs to be accessible. So I'm going to create an exclusion that says that connection to Office 365 from cloud PCs or devices that start with the model name cloud PC needs to be allowed. It's as simple as that. So when I put in this device model query, the cloud PCs themselves have a device model of cloud PC, so on and so on. So let me see if I can show you here. So the device model is essentially cloud PC, enterprise, blah, blah, blah. So this is what I'm taking advantage of in this policy. I'm configuring it and I'm saying that connection to Office 365 exclude these devices from filtering or blocking. All right, so that is the condition part of it. And finally, in the access controls, do I want to grant or block access? I'm choosing block access, and I'm choosing that require one of the selected controls, and that's it. So I turn it on, and essentially what happens is that when a user logs in, they will be prompted for authentication, and they won't be able to access their devices from outside of anywhere else. So for example, one of the user that belongs, let me see if I can show you the demo. I don't know how much time we have. Okay, we are almost out of time. Let me quickly see if I can show this. Enter the credential. I will be prompted for two-factor challenge. All right. So on my phone, I'm approving the two-factor challenge, and okay, it's still allowing me from here. That should not be the case. All right, my bad. But in this case, what I need to do is just need to include the Intune user, and basically I'll be able to block that particular user from accessing the service, Office 365 service. So let me save this and let me try. My bad. I was trying something else. Portal dot. All right. Let's see. All right. So as expected, it basically comes back and says that I cannot access Office 365 from a device that is not a cloud PC. But if I log into that user account from my cloud PC, it will allow me to connect to Office 365 as expected. But outside of that, it is not allowing me to connect to Office 365 at all. But I can still connect to the Office 365 portal itself, and I can simply make connections because I have provided exclusions for this user in the conditional access policy. So let me connect here. And in here, in exclusions, I have provided exclusions for these two apps, the Office 365 and AVD app. So that is why it's basically going to allow me to connect to the URL from outside or non-cloud PCs. I hope that that brings some clarity. So with that, I'm opening it up for Q&A. Any questions in the chat, or if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask away. All right, everyone's ready to go to bed. Either you guys understood everything or I absolutely did not make any sense.
Yeah, hello Ravi.
Yes.
Yeah, so the conditional access policies that inclusion exclusion a little bit confusing.
Yeah, so that was more of a example. So what I can do is I'll share the link, direct link to the article that I have wrote on the public documentation. So this article walks you through how to configure the policy that I just showed you demo of, right? So essentially, you can follow the steps in that uh, document, and you'll be able to configure it and understand. It's basically intended as an example of the ways in which you can use conditional access policy to improve or to enhance the security. So I'll share the article link directly in the chat. Have a look at it, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I know conditional access policy is one of those things that it's not easy to explain. I can just read and explain as much as I can on the configuration, but you need to physically do it yourself to understand some of the relationship, why I'm selecting some of the configurations and why I'm skipping some of the configuration. So I have put the link in the chat. Have a look at it. It's the same exact scenario. You can go through the settings and you can basically deploy it in your lab, or you can, if you have an Azure subscription, you can create that rule as well.
Sure, thank you so much.
Perfect. Any other questions? Anyone else? All right, cool. So with that, Jitesh, I hand it back to you. Thank you so much, everyone. I do need to drop from the call, but if you have any questions, please do share it with Jitesh and Anoop, and I'll be happy to answer them offline. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good evening there.
Thank you, Ravi, for sharing all the insights about Windows 65 security model, especially. I think and apart from that, I am sure like most of us will be more excited to about the roadmap after hearing you. So thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely hope so. And again, feel free to share your questions or asks to Jitesh and Anoop, and I'll be happy to answer them offline. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.
So moving ahead with the next agenda for today, we will be starting.
Okay, so do you want to share the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So, thank you all for joining. First of all, thank you all for joining. And this is our second Asia Windows 365 community user group event. And we are planning to have this kind of similar kind of events a lot in the future. So please subscribe to our meetup group, the Windows 365 Asia meetups groups, so that you will get alerts whenever we arrange this kind of meetings. Okay. So let's get started. And today, Jitesh and I are going to cover Windows 365 reporting. So you already got a lot of information from Ravi about the security stuff and a lot of other zero trust related topics, etc., and new exciting features coming out from Windows 365 Cloud PC product team. Now, today in this session, we are mostly concentrating on the operational side of things, right? How we can do reporting, what are the default reports, etc., etc. So, this is all about me, Anoop. My name is Anoop, and if you want, you can follow me on Twitter. If you like, you can follow me on Twitter at Anoop Manur, or you can connect with me through LinkedIn and various social media channels, right? And don't forget our W365 community Twitter handler. Please follow that particular account to get all the detailed information or the latest information about Windows 365. And over to you, Jitesh, to introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thanks, Yonu. So I am Jitesh. I'm Windows 65 Microsoft MVP, having more than 6 years of experience in the IT industries, managing all the modern device technology and although management. So if you want, you can follow me on the Twitter and you can connect me with the LinkedIn ID so we can get in touch and we can able to help you out with challenges and any questions. And we also have this Twitter handle and the website as Anoop mentioned earlier. So you can also browse through that site to get all the insightful data and the information. So moving ahead with this today's topic and the agenda. So as like Anoop mentioned, so basically we will be focusing here mostly about the Windows 65 reporting and although analytics report and including the default reports. So basically that will provide a much more reachability and the proactive analysis for the end user and for the admin perspective. So basically, the Windows 65 reports allowing you to have the more effectively and monitor all the health and the activities for the provisioned PC within the organization. So while checking all the information, you will be able to collect all the data across Intune. So here coming to the reporting benefit. So these are the three key benefit for the reporting platform. So that is helping us to building and putting all those services together on this platform. first one, if I talk about the privacy, so Microsoft product team and the development team is continuously focused on the data privacy and the transparency. Along with that, they also have much more concerned and focused on the security part. So you might have experienced lots of developments is keep going on related to the security point of view. So this is overall helping us to by building the report. They are keeping the privacy in their factors and leveraging all those things. Then the second one is the consistency. So whatever the Microsoft is receiving the feedback from the customer, or they are they feel this need to be more consistent across although cloud-based reporting systems. So by referring all the details, they are working on the challenges and how to overcome from there. And the final one is the accessibility. So this is basically the platform which was built to power the existing services and with the potential services. So overall, these all are helping and adding to the services and improving all the reporting services. So now let's quickly move to the next slide. Here we will talk about the endpoint analytics and overall how all about the categories, what exactly the endpoint analytics is providing to us. So basically the Windows 65 endpoint analytics report, as I mentioned earlier, is it much more helpful for the in terms of the performance metrics and helping you to optimize the end user experience. So let's quickly understand about the endpoint analytics. So is it just provide you overall insights about the organization in which you are working and the quality of the experience you are delivering to the user. So Windows 65 analytics allowing you also to monitor your cloud PC, and you can leverage all this report to generate the insight about the general resource performance, and you can able to see the remote connections that will help you to track the quality level. And with this although tracking and the accessibility, you will able to optimize the user experience, and you will able to track although progress in terms of what exactly the user is doing or performing in their with their cloud PC. So this is cloud PC basically categorizing reporting in a six category. Here you can see it is most of the report is already in the GA, and is it available for the use, and even for the public preview reporting, it is fully supported by the Microsoft, so you can leverage all the report. So it is providing us the more granular control and for the devices level. For the resource performance, you can see here it is indicating all about the like resource this is currently utilization of the CPU and the RAM by the cloud PC. So it is currently on the two main metrics here, which is helping to monitor the spike time and give you good sense to how you can able to control your device performance and etc. And the next is the remote connection. So is it all about helping you to monitor the key performance metrics for the while connecting to the cloud PC. So it is basically providing three major metrics. One is the RD client login time and the login failure in case occurs while signing up to the cloud PC and etc. So apart from that, you can also see that round trip time. So all those insights you will later point of time you will be experiencing in our demo session, which will be coming up on the next node. And the next is the startup performance. So that is most important, helping us to know more about the boot time and the what exactly the time taken by the cloud PC for the login duration and the time you are spending over there. So it is providing an overview. And the next is the proactive remediation. So whatever the common issues we are having related to the cloud PC, we will able to with the help of the report structure, we will able to find it out, and based on that, we can able to work on the remediation part. And these are the also the it has included the recommended software, including for the all the devices and the application uses health. What exactly? So moving ahead with this endpoint analytics, this is how it will looks like when you will inside the Microsoft Intune Admin Center. Once you will be inside the reporting, you need to go to that endpoint analytics, and here you will able to find out all the insightfuls and the analytics report. So basically, it will going to provide you the details related to the startup performance and the proactive remediation which I mentioned earlier, and you will able to also have this application reliability and the one more new addition which is recently last year added by, which is work from anywhere. So these are the insightful things, and uh, you will get to know more about the then next moving to the next. So the same the endpoint analytics report, you can able to browse it through the Microsoft 365 admin center, like you used to check it out from the Intune endpoint portal. So the same kind of flexibility, this is the M365 admin center is also providing, where you can leverage this kind of reporting structure, and you will able to find out the your productive score, and based on that, that will be helpful to take the assessment and how you will able to overcome from them. So these all are basically helping us uh, to do the impact analysis, and whatever the areas where we need to basically focus while using the system across all the organization. And if you find out if the cloud PC is used or maintained by a large number of group, then in case of any challenges occurred, or it is coming up for the help desk, then based on that, we can by helping of all the reporting and this basically the analytics part, we can able to review and will able to sort it out. So this is the resource performance report, which is the part of the endpoint analytics itself. So this is basically helping us when you will assign any cloud PC, you must need to decide or the configuration and everything while for the seamless experience for the user. So in case if we are running any productive application and getting any challenges while user is using, so with the help of this resource performance report, you can able to check all the labor of resources, and you can able to find out the performance, what exactly the performance cloud pieces generating, and whatever the issues we are encountering while using the cloud PC. So this performance report help us to check the root cause and proactive action. Suppose if you're planning to resize the cloud PC, or you are coming with any of the issues, so in that case it is much more helpful. And in case it is being used by the some of the development team, where the where the some like the CPU and the RAM utilization is much more higher compared to the other portion. So with the help of this report, we can able to do the assessment and take the proactive action. So this basically providing an organization a score, and that is helping you to and providing the recommendation what kind of actions you can able to perform from your side to improve the device performance and score. So then moving next to this remoting connection report. So this is also a part of the endpoint analytics. So this report is basically helping us to monitor the key performance for the cloud PC. So in terms of the key performance, if I will talk about like most of the person you used to spend a lot of time in the cloud PC by like signing in, and uh, sometimes we are keeping it on the ideal period of time. So with the help of this report, we will able to check the able to check the connection and the user how much time they are spending in their cloud PC. So overall it is providing a history. So with the help of the sign in history, we will able to take a decision whether the cloud PC is necessarily, or it should be used by the person who has assigned, or accordingly we can take the action. And the next part is it is also providing that round trip time history. So round trip time history is basically like one of, if the user from the end user devices to the cloud PC, how much like it is taking time to be connected, and how much based on that matrix it is overall providing a data overview. So overall we can say like that the it is helping us to provide the visibility and quality of, as well as the connection quality. So in case if you feel the connection quality or connectivity error while using the cloud PC, and so with the help of this connection report, you can able to analyze the impact and take the remediation steps. So with the help of suppose if a cloud PC is already enabled for a user, and while connecting they are facing some issue with the help of the, in terms of the Wi-Fi connectivity or the available bandwidth they have. So with the help of the connection report, you can able to find out the bandwidth utilization and overall structure for the reporting. So that will help you to take the preventive steps, and accordingly we can able to provide a better experience for the cloud PC experience. So these are the all about the report structure, which is part of the endpoint analytics. And apart from that, we also have the multiple default report available inside the MEM Intune portal. So next, I am handing over to Anoop, who will be walking you through about all the default reporting structure and the demo session.
Okay, thank you, Jitesh. It was really useful, I think. So yeah, today we can cover up some of the default reports, software update reports available, whether the cloud PC is patched or not. If we want to see what is the patch compliancy, we can check those reports as well, from the Intune portal or MEM Admin Center portal, and soon this will be changed. The brand name will be changed to Intune from Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, and then we will concentrate more on the demo side of things rather than showing the slides. So this is the, I think, if I'm not wrong, this is the last slide we have. After that, we will directly go into the demo, and hopefully demo goats are with us today, and we would be able to show something in the demo session. But in this we are trying to understand the connectivity health checks over here. So there are different types of connectivity we are talking about, right? One is hybrid Azure AD kind of joint cloud PCs. In that scenario, we need to have a connectivity with the domain controllers wherever it is located, right? Probably those domain controllers are located in your data center. Then we need to have a connectivity to that domain controllers to do the authentication and login, etc., etc. So that kind of connectivity we are talking, and the different kind of other connectivity is all the Azure AD join kind of scenario connectivity, right? How that works, and what is the status. You can get all these details from MEM Admin Center or Intune portal. Okay, so let me share my screen
Yeah.
and show the demo. Hopefully, I can do that. Bear with me for a sec. Okay, so this is the demo I'm planning to share. I'm so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the troubleshooting scenario, right? I just logged in logged into at endpoint.microsoft.com, and that is the Intune portal, and I'm here in the troubleshooting uh, section, right? If I go back over here, you can see something over here that is troubleshooting plus support. So in this scenario, what we are going to show you is, so for example, if you are supporting a cloud PC and one of the cloud PC user raised a ticket, then you want to check what is happening with her or his cloud PC. So go to this part, troubleshooting and support. From Intune portal, and select that particular user. Click on this button, select user, and probably say, I don't know, maybe let's select Vidya as our user. Okay, so Vidya is having some problem with her cloud PC. So we can see for overall report about that particular user. So first of all, Intune license is valid. That is the first thing, right? If there is no Intune license, then probably there are some problems. That is expected. The cloud PC issues are expected. Okay, so let's go down and check what are the, you can filter on the assignments. If you want, you can filter on the assignments. For example, if the user is saying, oh, probably on my cloud PC I can't see a application, okay, then you can say, oh, okay, maybe I need to filter on some of the application policies or application things, right? So client application. So client application is the filter you want to use in that scenario. If they are saying, okay, probably there is some problem with the policies, I'm not able to access us, I don't know, the sound is not coming, teams meeting, the sound is not coming, what should I do? Then probably it's worth checking some of the policies, etc., whether we are blocking something by mistake or something like that, right? And then if you want to go into deep, what is happening with that cloud PC, you can see this is her cloud PC, and you can just see over here it is Intune complaint and Azure AD complaint and app install. It is failure. There are some failures in app install. We will try to find out what is that failure, etc., right? App install life cycle. Okay, so let's click on this particular device. and check what is happening over here with this particular device. So click on this, and you would be able to see different kind of options over here. One is performance option, and the other one is hardware option, etc. So let's check the performance of the cloud PC now. Okay, and in the performance of the cloud PC, you would be able to see, okay, this is the size of the cloud PC. It is 8 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes cloud PC. It is enterprise version with 2V CPUs, etc. Okay, all the details are there, and provisioning policy details are there. What is the sign-in status at the moment? It is not, no user is signed in at the moment, right? All these details you would be able to get from this particular performance preview. Okay, so this is we are talking about a um, help desk or service support ticket, etc. If user is raising a particular ticket, you can see what is the round trip value. What you can click on some of this over here, view reports, if you want to get into more details of this particular um, device, right? For example, if I click on that, you would be able to see some of the reports over here. But for now, it is not available, because probably the user is not using the PC cloud PC regularly. But overall, you can see the round trip time, available bandwidth, and remote sign in, how much time it took, and the date, etc., right? When this happened. This is for last 28 days, and you can filter this on 7 days if you want, and click apply, and you would be able to see some 7 days, last 7 days data. So this is our lab environment, so probably we won't be able to get a lot of data over here, but you get an idea, right? What is happening over here, what are the things we can do from the cloud PC itself, uh, in the Intune portal, or from the Intune portal. Okay, so that is about the performance. And then hardware, it doesn't matter actually, but if you want to check, you can check what is it hardware, what is the storage, free storage space available, right? And over here you would be able to see model details of cloud PC, etc. Okay, so that is all about the hardware. And then discovered applications. So this is basically like the inventory of some of the application installed on that cloud PC. Okay, but that is also sometimes useful for a ticket, help desk scenario. Okay, and you would be able to see something like user experience that is specific to cloud PCs basically. And in the user experience, if you click on that, it is saying, oh, endpoint analytics. Sure, I think Jitesh talked about this, and it says, oh, needs attention. There are some issues with the startup performance for this particular device or cloud PC. So probably Vidya is not happy with her cloud PC performance. Probably we need to take a look into the cloud PC, and check what is happening, which are the policies deployed, what is the cause of the slowness, etc., etc. Right? So I will cover all the other parts in a bit, but you can see a lot of different tabs over here. Some of them are specifically related to cloud PC, right? Remoting connection, for example, and resource performance, etc. I will come to that in a bit, but I just wanted to complete this help desk flow first. Okay, so we covered okay, I think. Okay, we covered the user experience, and then device diagnostics and managed apps, filter evaluate. Okay, valuation, and restore point. Restore point is also another feature specifically for cloud PC. I'm not going to cover that, but there are a lot of blog posts and information about that in our community itself, right? So let's go to the next scenario in the reporting. So this is where we can get a lot of interesting information from the reports. So if I go back over here, you would be able to see I'm there in the reports, and in the reports you would be able to see uh, endpoint analytics. You can see a lot of information over here: analytics score, baseline, etc., and you can see the overall status of the startup performance. This is not only for the cloud PC, but this is for the entire tenant, entire Intune tenant basically. So that includes physical devices as well as the cloud PCs. Okay, Windows 365 cloud PC. So these are a very useful information. You would be able to see startup performance and resource performance, work from anywhere details, etc. And this is interesting, right? Over here you would be able to see, oh, okay, you have one device with slow login or sign in times. So that is interesting for an IT admin like me. So I wanted to check what is happening with that particular cloud PC or PC, and why it is slow. The signing process is slow. So if I click on this, you would be able to see what it is going to take me to device performance, and it is going to show me, okay, this is Vidya's device, cloud PC, and you can see core boot time 4 seconds, startup performance score is 10, and all those things you can see over here. And if you want to filter out some of the things, you can do it from here. For example, for this scenario, I don't want manufacturer, I don't want disk type, and probably, yeah, let's apply something like that, and then you would be able to see the relevant information for Vidya's cloud PC, and it says, oh, okay, needs attention. So if I click on this, probably it would take me, or it would give me more detailed information, what is happening, core sign in time, and what is happening over here to sign in screen, to present the sign in screen. It is taking some seconds, and probably that is causing the issue. Okay, and over here, sign in history, you would be able to see all these details in the default reports. You don't have to make any engineering to create custom reports or something like that, but it is all out of box available. That is the beauty of cloud PC and Intune integration, and endpoint analytics, right? So that is cool. So you would be able to see desktop phase, how much time it is going to take to get into desktop phase, and to respond to desktop phase, when user can click on the desktop, right? All those are kind of measured and detailed. It is available in details. All those things are available in detail in this particular um, tab. Okay, so that is very useful in terms of troubleshooting. And now let's go into some other tabs which is specific to cloud PC from here. So remote connection, same thing, right? Remote sign in. Cloud PCs are mostly remote sign in. That is you can see over here, remote sign in is there, and cloud PC round trip time history. So what does the round trip time users are having for the cloud PC? Okay, so you can see, okay, it is around 132 milliseconds, and this is more than 200 milliseconds. So there are some variations over there, and let's compare, right? If you have different cloud PCs, probably you need to take a look into different cloud PCs, different configuration or size of the cloud PCs, and check what is happening with 8 gigabyte RAM cloud PC, and what is happening with 16 gigabyte RAM cloud PC. Is there any performance difference? Is there any a difference in sign in timing, etc., etc., right? So that's all about a remote connection. And in the resource performance, you would be able to see different kind of CPU spike, time history information. That is very useful, right, in terms of troubleshooting the cloud PC. So all this information, again, I'm saying I'm very excited because all these are coming out of box. You don't need to do anything. You just need to have appropriate license, and that's it, right? So RAM spike, I don't see any data over there. As I mentioned, probably this is a lab cloud PC, and we don't use it to that level. Probably that is why we don't have any RAM spike time history, etc., at the moment. But we have. It is good that at least I can show some CPU spike time history. Okay, so cool. To work from anywhere. That is, so basically it shows Windows, and if you hover over here at this information button, you would be able to see what does it. What does that mean? Windows, keeping Windows up to date. So basically, it is checking whether this is a Windows 11 PC or Windows 10 PC, right? Probably it is going to show me. I don't know if we have. We don't have any Windows 10 cloud PCs in this tenant, so that's why it is showing 100. Oh, we are all up to date. We are doing good with Windows 11 migration, right? And we are using cloud identity. That is also really nice. We are not using uh, on-prem identity, etc. So that's good. And cloud management. What does that mean? Cloud management. We are also enabled with cloud management, right? Cloud provisioning. So yeah, that is also enabled. So we are good. Well, green over there. So these are the main topics which I wanted to quickly cover in terms of endpoint analytics, right? So let's go back to reports, and in the reports you would be able to see different kind of reports available. And in the last slide, or second last slide, we had shown you Windows Update, patching reports, etc., etc. So this is the report where you can get um, the Windows Update or patching complaints report, etc. So you might you might think, oh, why it is not showing anything? Okay, everything is blank. What is the use of this report? So you just need to you can click on reports, and you can see different reports over here. You can go into the details, but if you want to get the summary dashboard, you just need to click on refresh button, and it is fetching the details now, the latest details which is available. So from the lab you would be able to see, there's no device patching. We are not handling the patching in the lab very good, I think. So we need to do some stuff around the patching. Probably we are not created the patch policies, so that's why it's not showing. But in the production, probably the reports will be the summary will be very different, right? And this is very useful. If you see, you can see rollback initiated, and this is interesting. If you are new to Intune, into Cloud PC, then probably you would be this would be interesting for you. Okay, what does that mean by rollback? How we can do that, etc. So that's a different topic altogether. I'm not going to cover that in this section, but session. But we have a lot of resources available within our community to discuss about these things. Okay, so let's go back and let's check one of the feature update or some reports, right? Let's see how what is happening over here. um, there's no reports available at the moment, so I'm not going to waste time going through the blank reports, because as I mentioned, this is a lab environment. So let's go to the next scenario where if I want to say, okay, I'm a IT admin, cloud PC admin, and I want to see, I want to get alerts if the cloud PC is not working, cloud PC provisioning is not working, if the cloud PC is having some problems, or if I want to check some audit logs, what another admin or my teammate did with cloud PC, if you want to check that. So you can um, go to reports. Go to tenant admins. So for example, in the tenant admin, if you go to tenant admin, and then if you go to audit logs, you would be able to see the cloud PC related audit logs, if there is any, right? At the moment we don't have anything related to the cloud PC, but normally you can get all the details from the audit logs, what the other admins are doing, etc., etc. So initially I talked about alerts. So you can configure alerts over here related to cloud PC. For example, if you want to get alerts for something. So if you click in this scenario, I don't have any alerts. So if you click on alerts, you would be able to see three options. Okay, I want to check the Azure network connection failure, or I want to get alerts when the Azure network connection is down. Okay, if there is any flip in the Azure network connection. So that is common, right? I have seen many network flips, Azure network flips in my experience for Azure virtual desktop scenarios, etc. So it is get good to have this kind of alerts. So if you want to create alerts, you can click on this or any one of this for probably provisioning. I clicked on provisioning failure impacting cloud PC. So I want to check, I want to get that alert, right? Then you can see, okay, this is you can create a threshold over here. You can specify a threshold over here. What is the percentage, etc. instance or something like that, right? That is not enabled at the moment, but you would be able to set up that. Okay, and what kind of alerts you want, critical alerts or warning information. I don't recommend information, etc. Probably if you are in a production environment, probably you will be creating a lot of information alerts, if so. Critical alerts is most important, and I always go with the default options because Microsoft will have some data logic behind selecting these default values. Okay, so I normally go with default values over here, and then say portal pop-up. Yes, portal pop-up is good, and then probably an email. Okay, you can see Jitesh's email over there, and I can add my email if I want. So all those things, right? We can do all those things, and you can delete emails if you want, and then you can see uh, Okay, I need to put some email. No, let's delete that. Okay, and then click on apply. If I click on apply, it is going to create a alert rule. So whenever there's a critical issue related to the cloud PC provisioning failure, and depending on the threshold, you will get an alert. Okay, and even you will get a pop-up in the portal as well, apart from the email alert. Okay, so that was about the alerts. So cloud PC alerts. Hopefully that was useful. Now let's go into a bit different scenario. I don't have lot of things to share in this particular topic, but there are a lot of things we can do, lot of customization we can do, lot of data we can collect. Okay, so I'm talking about KQL queries and log analytics, etc., etc. Right, so there are options where you can see, okay, if you have a configured log analytics for the Intune diagnostics settings, you can get some cloud PC information from the log analytics. Okay, so I'm not going to cover the configuration part of diagnostics, how you can send the Intune platform data to log analytics workspace. So I'm not going to cover that because that is already there in the documentation, and the community blogs are there, videos are there. So you can refer to those if you want. But over here, I'm going to cover the reporting side of it, or how we can utilize those reports from log analytics using the KQL queries. Okay, so let's go into let's check which is the query. Okay, so log analytics workspace, you can see over here, I am there in log analytics workspace in the Azure portal, and you can open it from Intune portal as well. You don't have to go to Azure portal or open Azure portal for this, but you can directly go into Intune portal from here, go back to portal, and go back to, I think, reports. From reports also you can go over to analytics. If I'm diagnostics, and you can click on this, and that will take you to the same report, right? Um so let's go to the log analytics workspace I have created over here, and then go to the logs. Right, in the logs you would be able to see what are the details, right? What are the cloud PC details? So in the diagnostics you would be able to see Intune audit logs, Intune device complaints, Intune devices. So in Intune devices, we are going to concentrate on Intune devices for today. And Intune devices, you would be able to say cloud PCs as well. So how do you filter Intune devices to get the cloud PCs? So that is pretty simple, right? So let's go. Oh, what happened? Let's go and check which is the best one over here. Okay, so this is the Intune device query. So what I'm going to do is Intune device, and click on run, and you would be able to see the time range I have set at 24 hours, and you can change it and you can customize it as per your needs, but the default is 24 hours. Okay, so 24 hours, this is the default, and then you can click on run, and that will populate all the details. Okay, so there are a lot of details available. For example, if I click on expand one particular alert, for example, you would be able to see, oh, this is the same cloud PC. uh, display name. From the display name, you would be able to see, oh, okay, it is a cloud PC and cloud PC device, and you would be able to see all the details, right? The model number, serial number, manufacturer, creation date for that cloud PC, and it is a managed device or primary user ID. All those details you would be able to see in this report, okay, in this log analytics workspace with the KQL query. So for example, if I want, if you have physical as well as the cloud PC devices, and if you want to filter, then you can filter the cloud PCs based on the model number, right? For example, let me copy this to show you one sample query over here with this. So let me say Intune Intune devices, if I can spell it correctly. So let's delete this, okay, and delete and say, okay, where it is all coming by default, right? So it is easy if you know what is the detail you want to check, etc. So equal to, and then say, okay, cloud PC, or you can say, oh, okay, all the cloud PCs, if you want to see what does it actually it contains, right? Let's use contains, and then say cloud PC. What is happening? Let's check what is going to happen. Maybe it will say, there's no result because I'm doing something wrong. Let me check what is it. Cloud PC, serial number, model. Where is the model? Okay, cloud PC, there's a space, cloud space PC. Okay, that is why I was not getting the query. So let's cloud PC. Oops, if I can spell it. Okay, now contain says, okay, that's fine. It is not good. Best practice, they are saying. Okay, so there are two cloud PCs in my tenant as per the log analytics, and one is Vidya's device, and the other one is, I don't know whose device is that. Let's check that. Cloud PC. Okay, this is Jitesh's cloud PC. Okay, one is Vidya's cloud PC, and the other one is Jitesh's cloud PC. So if you want to filter only the cloud PCs for your tenant log analytics workspace, you can use this option. Okay, but if you want to specifically filter on a size of the cloud PC or model of the cloud PC, then you can use this KQL query to filter out. And KQL query can be very complex. This is very simple query. So this is based on the 8 GB of RAM, and let's run that query again and see. Oh, okay. So this is the device. I have only one device with that model, and if I see 16 gigabytes, there's a different model, and if I run this, you would be able to see a KQL query is reporting back one device, and I think Jitesh is privileged to use 16 gigabytes of RAM cloud PC, right? So yeah, so that is it from the KQL query, and you can use different tables or different KQL queries based on the data. For example, if you want to troubleshoot further, you can use Intune operational logs, and where you can filter using all the same method, right? You can filter where, and then you can use on result, right? You can use on result and say, oh, okay, what is the result, and then check what is the result is showing over here. Result fail. Okay, so if I want to see only fail, then you can say, okay, I want to failure report over here, okay, in the logs. So let's try to run this, and it will return the fail thing, right? And it is custom. So if I did a custom query. Probably if I want to see the last hour, if there is any big failure in cloud PC, and if you want to check something, you can see in the last hour what happened, has something is there or not, and in last 48 hours, you can check that. So in this lab, probably we don't have any data for last 7 days, so that is why I use the custom, and then said, okay, let's check this from September. Okay, so September, if I can select that correctly, date, and then apply. Okay, and then it is custom now, and then if I run, you would be able to see all these failures, enrollment failures, etc., etc. So this is the very high level view of log analytics from a reporting perspective. So these are the main things which we wanted to cover in this session. So any questions? Any queries? Otherwise, we can close this meeting. I don't know. Jitesh, do you want to take over and say a few words?
Yeah, I think we are almost running out of time. So it was really good, insightful things. What exactly you have explained related to all the KL query and diagnostic data. So I think people will find out this is much more helpful while troubleshooting and sorting it out the user challenges. So thank you all. Thank you for joining and coming together in this SCR group meetup. And just don't forget to check it out. This is space show. Lots of more exciting things might be coming up uh, regularly on this space show. Just join us and we all be connected. Yeah.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank
Talk to
you.
you later then.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.